Welcome to Jillian's Clinical Corner, episode 9. Thank you so much for joining me and for watching. This month, I've decided to change what my topic was going to be for this month's Clinical Corner to focus on something that's a little more appropriate considering the current climate and the fear and the steps we're all taking to protect ourselves while simultaneously acting as ethical and responsible practitioners for our clients. I was going to discuss how to make programming purposeful, which, don't get me wrong, will definitely be discussed on another month once we all resume more normal programming. But for this month, I picked a topic I was reserving for May, which is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and that topic is burnout. Now, I'm not making recommendations on burnout from a psychological perspective, as I'm not a licensed clinical psychologist, but rather from a BCBA perspective, because I am a BCBA. So as usual, we will examine what's currently being done and what research says we should do. But before that, let's talk about the definition and what burnout actually is. I got this straight from the Mayo Clinic. They state that burnout is not an actual medical diagnosis. However, it is defined as, quote, a special type of work-related stress, a state of physical or emotional exhaustion that also involves a sense of reduced accomplishment and loss of personal identity, end quote. So now that we know what burnout is, let's look into what causes this. Also from the Mayo Clinic, contributing factors for burnout include a lack of control, unclear job expectations, dysfunctional workplace dynamics, and extremes of activity, so either a job that's very monotonous or very chaotic, a lack of social support at work, and a work-life imbalance. Now, even though we try very hard at Graham to make sure our staff maintain a positive work-life balance, and feel as though they have a strong social support network, have control over their job and their work choices, and have clear job expectations, at a time when the nation seems in crisis and updates are coming and changing every day, the feeling of being out of control about work or not maintaining a positive work-life balance are even more possible. In addition, at a time when social distancing and less personal social interactions are able to take place, the feeling of a limited social support network could be affecting you even greater. Also, at a time you might be experiencing additional stress, so such as an international pandemic, this stress could be compounded even further, thus creating even more feelings of burnout than usual. So what's currently being done to combat burnout amongst BCBAs, behavior therapists, and individuals who work in our field? My instinct here is saying not much. Individuals who work in behavior analysis are some of the hardest working individuals I can think of. Now, that's not to diminish the hard work of other individuals in different fields, only to commend the amount of work, ethical guidelines, and just overall work ethic that I've seen amongst our field, especially amongst our staff at Graham. And I think on a large scale, many of us typically spend a lot of time working in person with our clients, working at home on materials or updates for our clients, and in our cars driving from client to client. I have a feeling much less time is being spent on things that might help us prevent burnout, such as reading, exercising, meditating, and so on. Then there is the current climate of stress and social distancing that's compounding these burnout factors even higher. So with all this to consider, what does the research say that we should do at a time of high stress and when you might be experiencing burnout? This is again from the Mayo Clinic. First, they recommend to evaluate your options and to discuss concerns with your supervisor. This is important all the time, but especially important right now. We're here to listen, no matter if it seems that we're busy or even stressed ourselves. Our employees are one of the most important concerns, and we welcome you to bring your concerns to us so we can help work through them. Second recommendation is fairly similar, which is to seek support. So you can reach out to us as job support, and you can reach out to your family or friends, of course, at this time via phone or video chat options. With social distancing efforts and a lot or most of larger events being canceled, it can feel very isolating socially. So remember to connect in whatever digital way you might like. There are even online gameplay options for individuals in different locations to play the same game. You could do a live screening of a TV show that you might typically all watch together with certain people, and now you can watch that over a video call. And within Graham, there are meetups where BCBAs and therapists gather to discuss current research. And we have monthly group collaborative calls, which is open to all Graham staff to discuss whatever is on your mind. Both of these options, along with the Graham training, will be done via Zoom video calling, so you have the chance to be social and distant at the same time. The next recommendations all deal with personal growth and activities and include doing a relaxing activity, getting exercise, getting sleep, and mindfulness. Now, mindfulness direct from the Mayo Clinic is, quote, the act of focusing on your breath flow and being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling at every moment without interpretation or judgment, end quote. These are all more along the typical guidelines that you might expect for squashing feelings of burnout, and they all focus on you as an individual and taking time for yourself. It seems like everyone thinks that at this time, when people are more social distancing themselves and may or may not be working more from home, that people should have more time since we're home more. And maybe some people do. But don't forget, many of us are still working. Our kids are now home with likely less or no support from a babysitter or a daycare or school, and we're trying to take care of our families, our jobs, ourselves. And guess what typically is the last to get any self-care or any care? Yep, ourselves. So even still, try to see if you could take even just 5 minutes a day for yourself. Try a relaxing breathing exercise, 5 minutes of meditation, or a few minutes of stretching. As far as exercise, see if you can make this into a family affair. Since most gyms are closed, on nice days you could take a walk with your family to get everybody out of the house or spend some time in your backyard. I think something very important is to really just forgive yourself at this time. Forgive yourself and kind of forget the notion of needing to clean up your house, start a new hobby, get something done that you've been wanting to do for a while that's really causing you to be overly stressed. If it's either work for an hour on organizing your pantry or get an extra hour of sleep, maybe sleep would ultimately help you more on the burnout scale. Now, don't get me wrong. If organizing your pantry is a form of meditation for you, which for me it kind of is, and that helps you feel in control and calmer, then definitely go for it. Just don't put undue pressure on yourself to get certain things done at a time that everyone thinks people are just home having plenty of time. Do what works for you to help you relax. So these are just a few suggestions. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Please remember to reach out to us if you're feeling stressed. We can help you in whatever way possible. Thank you so much for watching. Please do join us next month for another episode of Jillian's Clinical Corner. Thank you.